to UMasteryLLC, LLC, where the physical meets spiritual.
Grand Rising, Victoria Shakoor here, founder of UMasteryLLC, LLC, because it's all about mastering you. Thank you for joining me at this time. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all of my subscribers. This is a brand new channel, and where I will be expounding on some subjects because this channel is all about marrying the physical with the spiritual. And so on this subject today, let's get right into it, is about the difference between imagination, using your imagination, and visualizing your desires. And so Source put this on my heart. Those of you who follow me and follow my other social medias, you know that I only do videos when Source is uploading information to me, and then I do my little research, and then somebody confirms it for me, usually through a book or something. So this is about using your imagination because I'm getting clients that are kind of using them as if they're the same thing, and there is a difference. And so I was nudged to come on here and talk about that. And what's all of this behind me? All of this behind me is my way of giving you a sort of visualization, because I know I learned from doing and visualization. Some people you can just talk to and they learn things. So I like to incorporate, I do my best to incorporate all the different ways that people learn. So that's what this is. So just, I'm not an artist. That's just, I didn't want to waste time drawing it. All right, so it's not the best drawing, but hopefully it'll get my point across. All right, so imagination, visualization, both are very important for us to be utilizing so that we materialize the things that we desire. We do this automatically though. We're expert at it. Okay? You automatically visualize and you automatically use your imagination. It's just that for a lot of us, we have not been taught to do it intentionally. When we attempt to do it intentionally, following what a lot of very knowledgeable people teach us, they teach us to visualize what it is that we want, right? Visualize your desires. Sit in a meditation and then visualize what it is that you desire. So let's talk about it. When you visualizing what it is that you desire, what you're doing is you're connecting to that part of your brain. This your brain, yeah. Let me bring it closer so you can see. So this part of your brain here, this is your visual cortex in blue. I did that in blue. My blue marker's running out. But this is your visual cortex right here, right? All right. And then you've got your streaming light codes that is coming out here. Okay? Going out like this, and then your light codes. This is your optic nerves right here. Your optic nerves, and then it's going out because you're visualizing the light waves come and it's connected to your eyes. That's why it's called vision. So this is, I hope that I'm explaining this in the most simplest form that I can so that you really get this, because once you get this, you'll start to materialize the things that you desire a lot quicker and with ease. Okay? But you got to know the difference between imagination and visualization. Your visualization is more physical. This is why I'm showing you this whole process on my little research of what you are connecting to when you are visualizing. You're just tapping into that part of your brain. You're just tapping into this part of your brain, visualizing. And you're still using your inner eye, right? You're using your inner eye because you're not like visualizing it, but you're marrying the two together. What do I mean by that? When you're visualizing something you desire, there's usually a physical representation of that already. So, for instance, if you got promoted to an executive position, let's say, and you finally get in that particular office that have the wonderful view in it that you want, the temperature is right, and all of that. So that's already in existence. And so you come in and you start to visualize that I want the desk over here, and we're going to do the windows like this. We're going to, I'm going to put a rug here. You get what I'm saying? I think you get it. Visualizing. When you visualize that you want a car, you're visualizing a particular car. That car already exists. And so you're saying, I want that Mercedes, or I want that, you know, uh, that Bentley, or, that BMW, or I want that, Corvette, or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So it already exists. And then you just visualize that that's what you want. And so you may create a vision board, you know, and so that you can, using your eyes, can see what it is that you desire, which is very helpful. Okay. It's more to it when visualizing what you want to materialize than using your imagination. But I want you to really get what this is, because people tell us to visualize, meditate, and visualize what it is that you desire, right? And then there's other components when you're just using your visualization part of your brain. There's other components as well that makes the materialization happen a lot quicker, makes it more clear, okay, during that meditation. And so when Source was like bringing this to me about imagination and visualization, and to do a visual and talk about it a little bit, I was like, well, there's people teaching this, right? I'm sure there is. I'm not sure if we've been taught on this level, and I'm including myself. Okay. Now, I've been utilizing both because they're both important and they both have their uses, but they're not the same. That's the whole point of this video. And so I'm going into visualization because that's the most popular one. The most popular. People don't tell us to use our imagination. And that part has been shut down various ways. In school, when you were daydreaming, that's a form of imagining. And what? You were stopped from doing that. You were scolded at home for doing that. However, some of us, it couldn't be helped because we came here with certain gifts that was going to be very helpful and very useful for us to use, for us to assist others. Okay? So this was very helpful. So we couldn't help it. Even as children, we couldn't help it. We was always imagining things. We was always in our imagination. Now, that being said, and this is how this was shown to me by Source, right? Connecting all of this your brain. So visualization is more physical. You're using that physical aspect of yourself because you are divine beings. You are physical and spiritual, okay, and electrical. That's why you have the light waves coming out to your eyes. So when you create a vision board, right, you're visualizing what it is that you want, but it's physical. I hope I'm saying it different ways, so I'm hoping that you get it, right? And this is why sometimes when we have a vision board, some of us, we have that vision board up and, You can look back and be like, wow, I actually got that car. Wow, I actually went on that vacation. I actually did this and did that. Visual, physical. It's more connected to your physical being, okay? You're using your inner eye, but you're connecting it with all of this using your visual cortex. Okay? So I said, okay, Source, that's interesting. Let me look up what visualization really means. So I did. I looked it up. And the definition says an object perceived visually, perception of a plan, goals, strategic objectives, direction, purpose. Visualization. That's the physical part of you. Okay? I was like, wow, when I looked it up, I thought, wow, is that what I just explained that? Okay. And I hope I did a good job doing that so that you really get this, what visualization really is and what you're actually doing. Why is that important? Because when you know what you actually doing, then you know how to operate that thing. It's like when you driving and learning how to drive a car. And maybe you've been driving it, you haven't been driving it correctly. And somebody comes along and say, this is why you, instead of looking, this is the car, and instead of looking right here, you want to look out here. And you're like, oh, I always was driving just looking right there. Because your measurements is going to be better. You see, that's what this is. So in visualization, knowing how to properly do it, you're going to find that you're going to find that you're going to materialize. I don't say manifest. I have a wonderful master, powerful teacher. And manifestation, well, it came to me to break it down. And then once that happened, once it came to me to break that down, and then my master teacher brought it up. It was the synchronicity is off the chain when you are connected to source and to, information in that field, okay? Using your imagination. So I was like, manifestation, man, and then if, and that's what was throwing me off. And I was like, it's something because, the spells is through the words, okay? And this is how we get programmed and this is how we get spellbound. So a lot of times certain words will be really shining bright for me and then I got to look at it. Okay. Anyway, that's another video. Some of us can see certain things and certain words you can't see. You just can't see the spell within it until someone breaks it down and you be like, oh, okay. So my master chose the word materialize. And that even feels powerful, doesn't it? It feels empowering. It doesn't feel heavy. Like manifestation feels heavy and it feels like work. It feels like you got to do so much and you don't. To materialize the things that you desire. I did a video about this on Instagram and I talked about how I materialized my car, and it's just amazing. It's almost like you walk around like a magician. However, whatever, on success on your level. It doesn't always have to be, a big house and all these different things. A lot of times those things are programs. That's a program to say that you are successful. Okay? It's a program. All right, back on the subject. So when you are visualizing, this is it. I done beat that enough. I hope that you get it. Okay. Visualization is test you. You're using the physical part of your brain, visualizing what already exists. And you're just visualizing how you want that thing to function or look like, do, or whatever. Okay? That's visualization. Imagination, you're using your spiritual part. I don't know if you can see that because my blue marker's running out. But imagination is you're using the spiritual part of yourself. How so? When you imagine something using your imagination, you are in your creative force, you're in that creative sauce and creating something that does not exist. Yes, this is using your imagination. Your imagination, you are tapping into what they call the pineal gland. The pineal gland uh, is connected to those creative waters. You're dipping in that because this is something that does not exist. It doesn't exist yet. When you look at different things in our world, the different cars, how does the person that designed the next year car do that? They're tapping in this because that next year car does not exist yet. Some components of it, so they're marrying the two. That's why I say both of them are important because when you imagine something, right, and then you start moving towards that, then that's when visualization can start to come into play. You follow me? So when you use your imagination, you are in in the creative waters up here. You're tapping into your divinity, that spiritual side of yourself, that connection to source. You're tapping into that. And you're creating something that does not exist yet. You're imagining something that doesn't exist yet. So you may be imagining that you are, you might imagine that you build homes in a circular fashion. Right now, most of our homes are in squares, right? They got us in a box. That's a whole nother video about being in this box and how that affects our electric being in our transmitter because the brain over here, your brain is a transmitter and a receiver. It's the apparatus where you receive thoughts, and you tap into the creative water and use your imagination. Now you're transmitting. I hope I'm making this clear. Okay? I'm thinking about what I'm saying and how I'm saying it and how I'm portraying it because I really want you to get this because certain meditations that I take my clients through, and when they call me and say, oh my God, all of this opened up for me, this is happening and that is happening, is because what they're not realizing is that I'm taking them here, and helping them utilize this, awaken this again, because this was shut down, your imagination. See, and then they start telling us to visualize. You want to be using your imagination. You are creators. You are creators. You create. You create things. Somebody created this. This was in the imagination. It wasn't in the visualization. It didn't exist. They imagined this. They imagined this. Imagined it. Once they imagined it and put it down on paper, then they visualized the colors and how many people are going to buy it, how many they can make, the material they're going to use. But they imagined. First, the imagination came here to put holes in your ears so you can wear this. You understand? Everything around us was first somebody's imagination. All right? And then they have faith, and then they have belief, and then they came to know. That's how that goes. So your brain is the transmitter and receiver of information going on all the time, all the time, all the time. In this creative waters, when you start using your imagination, you're tapped in here, you start living creatively. Start living from your creativity where you are right now. Where you are right now. So always ask yourself, okay, I want to do this. I had a client and she wants to be wants to put together herbs, to help people and to heal people. And she had all these reasons why she couldn't start. Didn't have the funds, didn't have the connections, and all of that. And I said, what can you do right now? Right now. Start where you are right now. After we uncover some other things, how she was defining herself and things like that, and uncovering some blockages. Okay. And once we did all that work, then it was, what can you do right now? And she got started because we went into the imagination. Okay. Used her imagination, seeing herself that person. See, that's imagination. So she was seeing herself that person. You can see yourself however it is that you want to do, be, or have. Okay? You can either tap into visualization, which is fine. However, I want you to know that as organic human beings coming in this construct, you want to tap into this most of the time. You want to be in this most of the time. This comes first, and then this. This comes first, and then this. Okay? Now, this also can happen when we're sleeping, dreaming. When we're sleeping, dreaming, your imagination, you wake up and like, oh, I had a dream. I had a dream about this, and that don't exist. This don't exist. This already exists. Very basic, right? Very basic. So this don't, this do. Okay? All right. Anything else on that source? Hope I did a good job. Your thoughts is in here, is in that field. You're pulling, transmitter, receiver, you're always pulling down thoughts and you're always sending thoughts, okay? From even the collective, other human beings, thoughts are things. Where do they go? They go here. They're not. When your imagination kick in, because sometimes it happens spontaneously, and you get this, boom, you have an idea, right? That's your divinity. You have an idea. And then you don't do anything because you come up with all these reasons why you can't move towards that. Somebody else picks it up because that thought went into the field, the creative waters. It went into the creative waters. And then somebody else received that thought eventually, and you go like, damn, I had that idea. Oh, my idea. They ain't steal it. You just left it out there. It was yours. It came to you, and you left it out there and didn't do anything. Okay? So your imagination, you want to start tapping into that first. Just imagine. Allow yourself to imagine. Imagine whatever it is that you want to do, be, or have. Imagine it. What it would look like. Okay? What it would look like, what it would be like, and then start moving in that direction naturally. So I hope this cleared up some things for you as far as visualization and being able to materialize the things that you desire using visualization as opposed to using imagination. You want to use your imagination, okay? You desire to be like this world-renowned speaker, so you got to imagine yourself. That's not visualization. I would love to hear your input, what you've got out of this. I appreciate you listening. And all of my handles are the same. Tori Loves YouTube, because I'm overflowing with love for myself, and it can only flow over into you. And I will see you on the next video.